In winter, I always have a ham hock on standby in my fridge. They're full of flavour and they're fantastic for winter stews. This is my slow-cooked ham hock with gorgeous winter vegetables. Now I'm going to use a large stew pot. I love this stew pot because it's got a non-stick coating and it's super durable, so it's worth the investment. We'll place our ham hock into some water. Okay, this is about 800 grams, so it's going to feed quite a lot of people. And we're going to add our winter vegetables. Good old turnips, they always are on my menu in winter, so we'll add them. They become lovely and sweet once they're cooked. 1 carrot, a few cloves of garlic, so I've got 4 cloves of garlic here. We'll add them. 1 onion, and just to give the onion more flavour and also the stock that we're making, I love to add some cloves. Now the best way to do this is just to stud the onion with the cloves, and by doing this, at the end when we're using some of the stock to garnish our dish, we won't have to worry about finding these, so it's just a good little tip. All right, in that goes. And for a hint of sweetness, because the ham hock is salty, I add some honey. So some Manuka honey, 2 tablespoons of that, and this will really balance out that gorgeous stock that's going to be created. Some herbs, just good old hard herbs for this. You could use some rosemary. I love to use some bay leaves, so 4 bay leaves and a big bunch of thyme. Now the heat goes on, and we're going to bring this up to the boil, and once it's boiling you'll see some of the impurities come to the surface. If you like, you can skim it. If you can't be bothered, don't worry. We'll turn it down then to a medium to low heat, lid goes on, and we'll cook that for about an hour and a half or until the meat is just starting to pull away from the ham hock. It smells so good in here. I love the smell of ham hock cooking, and you can see this stock has formed. So now it's time to add the last of the vegetables and fruit. I have 1 apple. I'm going to pop the apple in whole. So in that goes. And fennel. See all these gorgeous fronds? Don't waste them. I'll use that for a garnish. We'll take the top off and we'll cut the fennel in half. And you know what, I'm going to cut them into quarters. So these vegetables I'm adding at this stage because they're not going to take as long as the root vegetables like the turnip and the carrot. So we'll pop that in. And winter for me equals cabbage too. So I'll have a Savoy cabbage here. I won't add too much of this. We just want enough to fill our gorgeous stew pot. So I'll cut that into wedges. And leave the stalk on so it doesn't fall apart too much. We'll pop that on top and we'll pop that in there. That is just gorgeous to me. I love the look of that. We're going to continue cooking for about 35 to 40 minutes or until those vegetables are tender. All right, this has been stewing away for another 40 minutes and it's ready. Oh, it smells like winter right there. And there's nothing more satisfying than on a winter's afternoon when you've got not much to do, but to just potter away in the kitchen. Now I'm going to take the apple out first because that's well and truly cooked. And we'll take out some of our cabbage. See how it's held its shape because we left the core on? I'm going to pop this straight into a serving plate. Oh, that looks good. And some fennel. Again, we kept the core on that so it stays in its entirety. And this gorgeous ham hock, it's definitely cooked. I'm going to carefully take it out because it will fall apart. So just with a slotted spoon, pop that onto a board. And I do spot a few carrots here. I love the sweetness of the carrot, so that's going on my plate. Pop that in there. And let's have a look at this. This is always such a pleasure to do. You take the skin off and you see this meltingly tender meat. It's piping hot. And to serve this, you can carve it or look, it's that soft that it'll just pull apart like that. Look at that. So exciting. This is my favourite type of cooking. Don't forget the apple for the sweetness. Just going to cut a wedge off. Oh, it's so soft. In it goes. and then that gorgeous stock that's just been bubbling away for so long. We added that Manuka honey to this, so it's got a wonderful depth of flavour now. Look how golden it is. Pour that over the top. This is humble cooking, very old English, I would say, and I would serve this simply with some caper berries and some Dijon mustard and those gorgeous little fennel fronds. We'll just pick them over the top just to tie the whole thing together. You know winter is here when you bring out your stew pot and cook a gorgeous slow cooked dish just like this. Can't wait to tuck in. In fact, I'm gonna have a taste right now. A little of that ham. It's just perfect, just the way it should be.